the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Today we're doing Sotah, Daf Yud number 18. Great share for you today. If you're a rabbi and listening to this share, please write a comment to allow me to shave my beard. I'm not enjoying having this beard. First of all, it feels disgusting. Second of all, it looks terrible. So there's got to be some heter for a person who's working on a YouTube channel where their face is seen by the masses. All right. I mean, there's no Isser in the Gemara that says you can't get a haircut or shave during Sphira. You know, it's interesting. Avelus, when you lose one of your 7 relatives, I believe the halacha is 30 days you're not supposed to shave. This is more 33 days. According to some opinions, they'll start Sphira 49 days. How could this be more significant than losing one of your Zayin Krovim that you're not allowed to shave for 33 days? Or 49 days according to Rizal? Hard to believe that it's more significant than a personal loss that is mandated by the Torah. It's not mentioned in the Gemara anywhere. Very strange. I don't know why I do these things. Yud Chen Amud Aleph. The top words. Kasval Shnei Dapim Psula. We're talking more halachas about the Sotah, the Megillah Sotah, that parchment you write the words of the Sotah. If you wrote it on Shnei Dapim, right? If you look at a Sefer Torah, you have columns, right? So technically, the words of the Sotah are not supposed to be written in columns. Supposed to be written just, a long statement to fill up the entire page. If you look at a Sefer Torah, basically one page, one daf of the Sefer is occupied by 3 or 4 columns. It's puzzle. Sefer it specifically says Sefer in the singular. It can't appear like 3 different stories, 2 different stories. Kosav osachas umachal osachas. If you wrote one letter, then you dipped it in the water to erase it. You wrote the next letter, again erased it. Even though technically at the end of the day you ended up writing everything and erasing everything. Psula, it's possible. The Ksiva Asa Allah HaKohen as Kol Torah Hazos. This Kol Torah Hazos, it has to be everything together at one time. Boy Rava, Kosa Shtei Megillos, Shtei Sotos, Umachal Tol Kos Echa and Mahu. There were 2 Sotas over here. 2 women that were accused of adultery. And they were undergoing the process of Sotah. You took 2 scrolls. And you only filled 1 vial full of water. You erased both of them into the same kos. Ksiva l'shma, but you need a ksiva specifically for this woman. You have a ksiva, separate Megillah written for each woman. Odilma, also, and the mechika has to be done specifically for each person, and they're each in their own kos, in their own cup. Maybe you would contend you do need separate erasure. Let's say you had 2 different cups. You erased it in 2 different cups. And then before you gave the sotas to drink the water, you mixed the waters together. And then they drank from this mixture. Mao. They have to drink separately what belongs to them, not a mixture. Maybe we're worried about that. They have to drink independently. Do we say it helps? You mix it together and then you separate in 2 different kozos. Yesh brera in brera, the famous question in the Gemara. Do we assume retroactively went back into the cup was what was originally in the cup? Right? It's sort of like the luck of the draw. The shot in the Gemara, do we say it works like that or not? We rely on that or not? Generally, for Doraisa, we don't rely on Breyer over here. It seems it would be in Doraisa. The Gemara doesn't answer these questions. The Gemara answers all the questions take, we're not sure. So probably it would not be okay in any of these cases. Boy Rava, Hishke Besiv Mahu. Bishoveres Mahu. Normally you're supposed to do it in some earthenware kli. Let's say you had a basket full, a wicker basket, or you have a shvoferes, you have a very narrow tube. Derech shtia b'kach, or derech shtia b'kach. It has to be shasa. It has to be she drinks it. People don't drink out of baskets. Usually, they don't drink out of a tube, a small tube. Is it considered at least normal if shtia? Take the Gemara is not sure. Boy, Ravashi nishbechu mehen nishtar mehen ma'u. You had a lot of the right. We said be a revius or a chatzi lug of water, and it spills out, and you have a little bit of water because you drink a little bit of water, and is it effective to testing her whether she's a sotah or not? Take again the Gemara is unsure. Amar Zera Amar Rav shtei shvuos amuros b'sotah lama. Achas kodem shenimcha Megillah. It's hard to read what it's on the side over here. Maybe this is a little better. Here you see I got my stender and the Gemara over here. It's annoying. You don't have, when you're not in your own space, what you're normally used to. All right. It says there's two shvuos that are written by her in Pasuk Yud 10 and Pasuk Chav Aleph we discussed yesterday. Achas kodem shenimcha Megillah, achas la'achar shenimcha Megillah. So one shvuah is before they erase the parchment into the water, and one is afterwards. So the Gemara asks on that, right? The pasuk Chav Gimel 23 talks about erasing, and both shuos are in pasuk. One shuah is in pasuk Yud 10, and one pasuk Chav. They both occur before the mechika, at least according to the Torah. One shvuah, the first shvuah, does not have an explicit curse included with it, and the other one has an explicit curse, and that's why the second shvuah is repeated to include the curse. What is exactly the words? Obviously, you write. We discussed in the previous mission what you write in the parsha, but also there's a verbal shvuah that the Kohen administers the woman. What does he say to her? Right, we mentioned there's two shvuahs. One is a shvuah without an Allah, without a curse, and one is a shvuah with a curse. How does he phrase it? Swear to me that you did not commit adultery. If you did commit adultery, the water will come into you, and it'll basically kill you. It'll make your belly and thigh, explode. If you say this is the way he phrases it, right? It's basically, it's not a shvuah that has within it an Allah, right? First he administers the shvuah, and then he discusses the curse in a separate, right, as a contingency, not really part of the shvuah. What does he say to her? I'm taking a shvuah that if you committed adultery, the water will come to you and will kill you. Right? Basically, Mashmini Alech is not asking her to swear. He's just basically telling her that you're accepting upon yourself a curse. The shvuah is the Allah. Rashi is a different way of phrasing it. Mashmini Alecha Shalom Nitmes. Swear to me that you didn't come me. V'im Nitmes. Yavo Bich. The Vav is important. We switched from a shin before. V'im Nitmes. If you did, so this is like dependent, right? It's not just two separate things. If you did commit adultery, then you're going to die. So it is first a shvuah. Swear to me that you didn't do it. And if you did do it, you're going to have the curse. So therefore, they have a shvuah, she'eshi ma'al. The shvuah includes it with it in a curse. That's the proper way of phrasing it. The Kohen should say to her. And the Mishnah says, Al mahi omeras amen amen. Pasuk Chav Beis at the end, the woman says amen amen. She says the word amen twice to the shvuah. Amen, why is the word twice? Amen. Amen Allah, amen Allah shvuah. Amen on the curse. Amen on the shvuah. Right? She has to set the shvuah and the Allah and the curse. Amen mi'ish zeh. Amen mi'ish acher. She's basically saying amen from this woman, this man that my husband warned me against, and I seclude myself. Not only that, but the Gemara in Kedushin says this mission is also a gilgal shvuah. If you make her take a shvuah on one thing, you can megalgal a shvuah. You can roll off another shvuah on something that wasn't exactly part of the deal over here, right? Basically, you can only make her swear on something that you warned her of, saying man you warned not to be with. But Gilgal Shvuah allows you, if you're making her take a shvuah on one man, you can take a shvuah that she did commit adultery from another man. Amen shalosatisi arusa minisua, right? They're married. So again, Gilgal Shvuah, tell me that you didn't do it when you were married with this man, and also include that you also didn't do it when you're engaged, because that would also forbid her to the husband. If she's a case where the brother died, right, and she did yibum now, so he can make her take, and then the yavam, right, basically suspects her of committing adultery. So he makes her take a shvuah. Also, she can make the shvuah at the time when she shomeres yavam. She was awaiting the yibum. Amen shalom mesiv im nitmu yavobi. Amen that I didn't commit adultery. And if I did commit adultery, the water should go into me, which is basically shvuah and Allah. Now, this is all one opinion. A lot of different explanations why he's saying amen, amen. And there's like 6 explanations here why the repetition of amen. Right. The first explanation was amen on the shvuah, amen on the Allah, which is basically the conclusion over here. But in between was amen mizeh, amen mishacher, arusa nesua, knusa yavam. Is this 5 different explanations over here? Or is this really one explanation? I'll talk about that in Ian with Ben Sion. A really enlightening explanation. You're gonna love it. Right, Meir Omer. That's all the opinion of the Tanakh. Meir Omer, a different explanation on amen. Amen. Amen shalo nid mesi. Amen that I didn't commit adultery. Amen shalom tameh. Amen the second amen is going on the future. She's saying that I won't commit adultery in the future when I'm still married to. We're going to see what happens if she does commit adultery in the future. Does the water take effect then? Hakol shav, and everyone agrees, both opinions agree. She'ein masne ima lo al kodem shitzares, v'lo al achar shitizgar. You can't stipulate, you can't make like a shvuah that she committed adultery before she was engaged to this man with a different husband, or after she gets divorced, she marries another man. You can't do that. Nisra la'acher v'nit beis v'acher zira lo yamas nima. Nisra la'acher. Right, so she became usher. She was married to a guy, then he divorced her. She married a second man. I'm sorry. So what happened? He divorced her. She didn't marry. If she married a second man, she couldn't remarry her. But she got divorced, and then she became secluded with a man, and she was defiled. Right, but she wasn't married to anybody. And then he remarried her. And that he can't make her take a shvuah that she wasn't defiled. You can only make her take a shvuah, even a guiltless shvuah, on something that if she was convicted, if she was found guilty for committing adultery with that person, it would have forbidden her. In this case, she wasn't married to the guy anymore. If before the Yerush or after the Yerush, she's not married to the guy anymore. So even if she's secluded and was defiled with that guy, she had fun with that guy, you can't make her take a shvuah on that because it's not something significant enough to answer her. The Gemara says, "Amar Rav Hamnuna, Shemeres Yom Shezinsa Asura Liyavama." Rav Hamnuna makes an interesting statement. A Shemeres Yavam, a woman who's waiting Yibam, she's mezana under her before she's taken in Yibam. Asura Liyavama, she's asur to her Yavam. She can't marry the Yavam. Mimai, where do you know that from? The Shemeres Yavam Knusa. Mishnah says, amen twice, one for the Shemeres Yavam, one for the Knusa, way after he married, and one for before. But if you'll say that if she did actually commit adultery, not exactly adultery, when she's waiting for Yibam, and she would be usher to her future Yibam, that makes sense that he can be masna, he can stipulate that she shouldn't have done it. Like the end of the Mishnah says, if the defilement is not significant enough to answer her, he can't make her take a shvuah. It must be that it does answer her. Amri Marava in Eretz Yisrael, he said, Lacha does not follow Rav Hamnuna. I mean, she's not answer. So how do you explain the Mishnah? He could even make her take a shvuah about the time she was Meres Yavam. Hamani Rabbi Akiva. Our Mishnah follows me Rabbi Akiva. Damar in Kedushin Tovs and Chayve Lavin. U'Shavi Lake Erva. Rabbi Akiva has a unique shit that we don't pass on Rabbi Akiva. He holds even Chayve Lavin, which is a Shemeres Yavam, she's not allowed to be with another man. The Ishzar, she can go marry some. She can't have relations with a different man except her Yavam. And Yibam, she has relations with a different man, not an erva of kares, an erva of lav. So according to Rabbi Akiva, that's considered an erva. In Kedushin Tovim Chayve Lavin, you merkadish them, it doesn't work. That's called an erva. According to we don't hold like Rabbi Akiva. So therefore, the halakha is not like Rav Hamnuna, it would not answer. And really, according to us, you couldn't make her take a shvuah on the time when she shemeres yavam halacha, not like our Mishnah. Bari Rabbi Yirmiyah, Mahu sheyasna adam al nisuin harishonim, al nisui echav, Mahu. Right? Let's say he takes her in Yibum. He wants to make her take a shvuah about the deceased brother. Did she commit adultery with the deceased brother? Tashma, if she would have had adultery with the deceased brother, he couldn't have taken on you. That's the first Mishnah in Masechta, right? If she is a Sotah, there's no mitzvah of you. So therefore, you see that it is something that would aser hurt to him. So therefore, he could make her take a shvuah about that. Rameir is the second opinion on Mishnah. Amein shelo nitmesi. Amein shelo atame. Amein that I'm not going to do it in the future. Tanya lo kshama Rabbi Meir. Amein shelo atame. Shimti tame mayim bod k'tame asha. He didn't mean to say Rabbi Meir when she takes a shvuah. I'm not going to be tame. Somehow Hashem knows what's going to happen in the future. Hashem knows she'll be defiled. She'll commit adultery in the future. So right now, when she drinks the Mei Sotah, if it's so going to be that she's going to commit adultery, she'll die right now. Can't be that's the explanation. Ella likshitami mayma aranosa bodkinosa. No, it just means to say, according to Rabbi Meir, when she commits adultery in the future, then the waters will regurgitate in her stomach and will kill her. Bari Rav Ashi, Malashi asked the Adam al Nisuin Arachronim. Can a person make her take a shvuah on a second marriage? Hashta mi'alo asiralei. O dilma zimnin the megarish la hadam hadarla. He's making a shvuah, not that he made adultery during this marriage, but if I divorced you and then I remarry you, right? I'm making you take a shvuah now that you can't commit adultery in the second marriage when I remarry you. So Hashta mi'alo, she's not usher to him right now in the second marriage. She's only in the first marriage right now. Or maybe do we say that, right, it's possible he'll megarish her and remarry her? Tashma. He can't make her take a shvuah before Erishin and after Gerushin. Nisra la'acher le'echer v'nitmes la'acher chizrena lo ya masna hayach sirena v'titam achanami the masni shemamina. It says explicitly in the Mishnah that if he divorced her and then she's secluded with another man before getting remarried to someone else or to him, right? So he can't make her take a shvuah about that adultery. It implies what? That if he does remarry her and she becomes usher through adultery, that he could. So you see clearly from the extra line in the Mishnah, it implies that if he could actually make her take a shvuah about a future marriage, because even though there's a gerushin interposing within the two marriages, it's considered really one long marriage, the same person. So therefore, he could make her take a shvuah about that, according to Rabbi Meir, that you can make her take a shvuah about the future. Shema Mina. I'm going to stop over here. The next price talks about something else. Stay tuned for Enoch Ben Siyam. I want to focus on a seeming problem with the Mishnah here on the bottom of Yudchem and Aleph, going to the Yudchem and Beis, about the Tanakhama's opinion. Amen twice. The Gemara Mishnah first says, Amen ala Amen ala shvuah. And then it says, Amen, numerous other explanations. Amen mishzeh, Amen mishach, Amen knusa, Amen yavama, Amen shomer yavama, Amen harus, Amen nesua. Which one is it? Is it Amen ala shvuah, Amen ala Allah, or is it Amen mishzeh, Amen mishach? Can't have both. Stay tuned for Enoch Ben Siyam. I'll answer this question coming up next.